What if the key to calming your inner conflict was already written across your face? There's a line subtle, ancient, often ignored. But the moment your fingers trace it with intention, something happens. Your breath deepens. Your thoughts soften, and the tension you've been carrying, not just today, but from years ago, starts to dissolve. Not because you've figured anything out, but because your body remembers what your mind forgot: how to come home to stillness. Most people try to quiet their mind with more thinking, more books, more meditations, more strategies. But inner conflict doesn't begin in the mind. It begins in the nervous system, in tiny micro-responses locked beneath your skin, in signals your face sends to your brain 1,000 times a day. But here's what they never tell you: your face isn't just for expression. It's a control panel for your emotional state. And when you trace this one forgotten line from your third eye to the bridge of your nose, your vagus nerve listens. It slows your heart, resets your breath, and opens the door to something quieter than thought. So here's what we'll do. In the next few minutes, I'll guide you through a gentle technique. You'll use your fingers, your breath, and a simple visual cue to signal safety to your nervous system. It will feel subtle, sacred, almost like remembering something you never knew you forgot. But before we begin, take a moment. If something in you already feels drawn to this, trust it. Tap subscribe. Whisper a quiet yes to your own healing. Like, share, and let this be your first soft step toward inner peace. You might not know this, but your face holds a hidden line that ancient healers once called the pathway of stillness, a subtle channel believed to harmonize the energies of mind and body. It starts just between your eyebrows, glides down the ridge of your nose, and gently tapers near the top of your lips or heart center. In Eastern healing traditions, this facial line was seen as a sacred thread, a bridge between the third eye and the throat of truth, passing through the doorway of the breath. Shamans, monks, and body mystics would trace it during moments of inner chaos, believing it could rewire the emotional field and bring the spirit back to balance. Modern language might call this area a facial reflex zone or a neurosensitive energy line, but its purpose remains the same: to send a signal to the body that it is safe to relax, that it's okay to stop fighting yourself. Think of it this way: you don't just carry your stress in your shoulders, you wear it across your face. Furrowed brows, clenched jaws, flaring nostrils. Each small gesture is part of a map of emotional defense. This facial line cuts through the center of that map like a reset button. When traced with care, it unknots the inner grip, not just physically, but energetically. Why has this technique been forgotten? Because we've become a mind-dominant culture. We chase answers in logic, in language, in thought. But the body speaks in silence. And this silent line, this gentle gesture, was lost in the noise of overthinking. Yet some fragments still remain. In ancient Chinese face reading, Min Shang, this central line was linked with destiny and inner truth. In Ayurvedic marma therapy, the space between the brows, called ajna, was treated as a doorway to insight and emotional clarity. Even in Western somatic therapy, practitioners are rediscovering the power of facial touch to shift nervous states and resolve emotional loops. The beauty of this technique is in its simplicity. You're not adding anything foreign to your system. You're simply reminding your nervous system of a forgotten pattern, a feeling of safety, flow, and inner coherence. No tools, no rituals, just your breath and your fingertips. In a moment, I'll show you exactly how to do it, with precision, breath, and gentle awareness. But before we begin the body practice, I want you to understand something deeper. This isn't just about stress relief. It's about self-reunion. It's about touching a line on your face, and in doing so, reactivating a line of communication between your spirit and your nervous system. You've been trying to calm your thoughts by thinking. Now we'll try something else. Let the body lead the way. So why does tracing a line down the center of your face, something so simple, have such a powerful calming effect? To understand this, we need to talk about the nervous system, and more specifically, a nerve that's quietly running the show behind the scenes, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the body's longest cranial nerve. It flows from the base of your brainstem, down through your throat, your chest, and into your gut. It's part of what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for rest and digest functions, safety and emotional regulation. But what most people don't realize is that the vagus nerve also has branches that connect directly to your face, especially the muscles around your eyes, nose, and jaw. This is where it gets fascinating. When you gently touch or trace along the glabellar line, the area between the eyebrows, along the nose ridge, and near the philtrum, you're activating a powerful facial feedback loop. That touch sends a cascade of subtle electrical signals to your brainstem through the trigeminal nerve, which closely interacts with the vagus. In response, your brain begins releasing signals of safety, calm, and slowing down. It's almost as if your body hears, I'm not in danger anymore. I can exhale. This isn't just theory. Studies in somatic psychology and neuroaffective touch have shown that light, intentional contact with facial points can modulate heart rate variability, improve emotional processing, and even reduce activity in the amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear and emotional threat detection. But science alone doesn't explain the full magic. There's something else happening, something subtler. You see, your skin has memory. It remembers every frown, every tear, every tightening from years past. When you gently trace this line, with breath, awareness, and intention, you're not just touching the body. You're communicating with your biofield, the subtle energetic field that surrounds and interpenetrates your physical body. This field responds to intention, rhythm, and presence. The simple act of tracing this line becomes a ritual of reconnection between your brain and your body, your nervous system and your spirit. And the most remarkable part? It works even if you don't believe in it. Because your nervous system doesn't need your belief. It only needs your presence. So whether you approach this as biology or as energy work, the result is the same: a shift, a softening, a rebalancing of the systems that carry your stress, your stories, and your silence. Now that you understand how this technique works, both physically and energetically, let's move into the part your body has been waiting for. Let's begin the practice. Find a quiet space. Sit upright, but relaxed. Let your shoulders fall slightly back. Let your jaw soften. Take a slow breath in through your nose, and exhale gently through your mouth. Feel the space around you. Begin to quiet. Now, bring your attention to your face. We're going to trace a very specific line, one the nervous system instinctively understands, even if your conscious mind doesn't. This line begins right between your eyebrows, at the center point, some call the third eye. It travels straight down the ridge of your nose, following the natural curve of bone and skin, and ends gently at the top of your upper lip, right in the center, at a spot known in acupressure as the philtrum point, or the gate of calm. Lift your dominant hand and let your fingers hover over the space between your brows. Place your index and middle finger together. Gently touch the point between your eyebrows, not pressing, just resting. Now, as you inhale, trace your fingers slowly down the center of your forehead, over the bridge of your nose, down to the philtr. Exhale fully as your fingers pause there. Feel the trail you've just drawn, like a thread pulling your awareness inward. Let your hand return to your lap. Close your eyes, breathe. We'll add a layer of imagery now. Bring your hand back to the starting point, the space between your brows. Let your fingers rest there gently. As you inhale, imagine you're drawing in a soft silver light, cool, calming, precise. Let that light pool behind your forehead. As you begin to trace the line again, visualize this light following your fingers, traveling down your nose bridge, clearing static, softening your gaze, and settling at your upper lip, like a drop of still water. Hold your breath for a moment at the end of the line. Let that light gather there, sealing your intention of peace. Exhale through your mouth, a whisper like wind through leaves. Let go of something you don't need. Now, we connect more consciously to the body's internal systems. Begin. Again, fingers to third eye. This time, as you trace the line, say silently in your mind, I am safe. I am returning to center. I release the war within. Inhale as you touch the forehead. Exhale as you reach the philtrum. Let your whole body soften. Shoulders, stomach, jaw. You may feel warmth, tingling, or even emotion rise. Let it come. This is your nervous system unlocking its grip. After tracing the third time, rest both hands over your heart. Close your eyes and just breathe. If you feel called, try this in front of a mirror. Look gently into your own eyes. Trace the line slowly, as if drawing a path back to yourself. Let your gaze be soft, not judging, just witnessing. Say softly, this is the face of someone returning home. You can repeat this entire practice as often as you need. Even one cycle can begin to shift your inner state. But 3 cycles, traced with breath, presence, and intention, can ripple through your entire nervous system. This is more than a facial gesture. It's a body prayer, a movement of reconnection, a message to the systems within you that have waited years to exhale. Now, pause. Let your hands rest. Let your breath settle without effort. Close your eyes if they aren't already closed. Now notice how you feel. What has shifted? What has softened? You may not have words for it. That's okay. The body speaks in silence. And silence, sometimes, is the first step to peace. Something soft has already begun. It may not be loud. It may not even feel big. But if you've followed the line, breathed with it, traced it with presence, then something inside you has moved. This practice doesn't shout. It doesn't force. It invites. What you've just done is give your nervous system permission to release a pattern it's been holding, often for years, without your conscious awareness. For some people, the moment after tracing feels like a fog lifting. Suddenly, the inner chatter slows, as if someone turned down the volume. There's space between your thoughts, a kind of inner quiet you didn't realize you missed. Others feel warmth in the chest, or a subtle tremble, a sign that emotional energy, grief, fear, even unspoken love is beginning to flow again. You might have felt emotion rise during the practice, tears welling, a lump in your throat, a strange sense of softness or safety you haven't felt in a while. That's not random. That's your body saying, "Thank you for listening. Thank you for touching what no one else could see." Inner conflict is not always about choices or confusion. Often, it's the collision of old survival patterns and your deeper truth trying to emerge. When you trace this line down your face, you interrupted that collision. You signal to your system, there is no enemy here anymore. And that's when the emotional shift begins. A kind of balance returns. The war between thought and feeling loses its grip. You may feel clearer, not because you figured something out, but because the noise that stood in the way just stepped aside. This practice reintroduces you to the intelligence of your body, not just the muscle and bone, but the memory in your skin, the ancient knowing behind your breath, the space inside. You that still remembers who you were before the world got loud. Some people cry here. Some laugh unexpectedly. Some simply sit in stillness, not knowing why, but feeling a quiet rightness settle into place. Whatever you feel, let it be enough. Let your experience be valid, even if it has no words. Now, ask yourself gently, what did my body tell me just now? What softened that I wasn't even holding? The answers won't always come in language. Sometimes they arrive as breath, sensation, or the simple absence of struggle. But one thing is certain, by tracing that line, you didn't just shift your nervous system. You reminded your spirit, there's a way back to center. And it begins at the surface of your own skin. You don't need a full ritual every time. Just 1 minute a day can begin to reshape the way your body and mind speak to each other. Here's how. Each morning, before your phone, before the world rushes in, sit in stillness. Bring your fingers to the center of your forehead. Trace that same line down your nose, to your upper lip. Breathe in slowly. Exhale completely. Let the body know, I choose calm today. You can repeat this at night when thoughts are spiraling, in moments of conflict, or simply when you feel uncentered. No tools, no pressure, just presence. Over time, something curious begins to happen. You react less and feel more. Your sleep deepens. The sharpness in your emotions softens. Your nervous system starts to self-correct. Using this line as a kind of internal reset, you become the one who returns to stillness faster, who listens before speaking, who touches the body before overthinking. This is how change unfolds, not in sudden explosions, but in daily, silent rewiring. And it all begins with your fingertips and a forgotten line that's been waiting quietly on your face. You just touched a path your body never forgot, a quiet signal that you are ready to return to yourself. Let this be the beginning. Practice this daily. And when you're ready to go deeper, to awaken more of your body's hidden wisdom, watch this next video. Press this point behind your ear to reset your nervous system. It's the next step on your path. If this stirred something in you, whisper a yes in the comments. Like, subscribe, and let this be your soft commitment to come home, one breath, one touch at a time.